Who do you miss? Have you ever truly asked yourself what happens in the very instant the heart stops beating? Some people know. Imagine this. Mr. Thompson, clinically dead for 7 minutes during bypass surgery, described seeing his late wife, not frail as she was in her final years, but vibrant, young, and utterly healed. She gave him a cryptic but specific message for their estranged daughter, a detail he verified upon recovery. Was this a hallucination or definitive proof of life beyond the veil? This feeling, this deep, aching saudade, is one of the most universal human emotions, connecting us across cultures and generations. It is a profound sensation that transcends time and space. The relevance of this topic touches every single one of us because loss is inevitable. As someone who has studied spirituality and consciousness science for decades and worked closely with individuals in hospice care and grief counseling, I understand the importance of addressing this topic with both seriousness and respect. My intention here is to move beyond mere belief and offer perspectives that blend comfort and hope with intellectual rigor and verifiable evidence. The longing you feel for someone special who has departed is not just a common emotion. It is a deep-seated phenomenon, connecting your soul to dimensions beyond traditional understanding. That ache in your chest carries an ancestral truth about the continuity of existence and the eternal bonds that transcend physical death. The science of eternal consciousness. Have you ever wondered why certain people leave such profound marks on our souls? Why does the absence of loved ones seem to echo through time, creating an invisible bridge between worlds? Modern science and ancient spirituality are beginning to converge on a startling answer. These connections are real, measurable, and eternal. In this video, we will explore the scientific evidence of near-death experiences, NDEs, studies on post-mortem consciousness, and documented accounts of spiritual reunions. We will examine how renowned researchers are mapping the unexplored territories of life after death, offering hope based on concrete data and verifiable testimonies. I've spent years studying the intersection between science and spirituality, analyzing consistent patterns in NDE accounts that strongly suggest realities beyond the physical world. These discoveries force us to question everything we thought we knew about death and separation. For decades, serious researchers have investigated the continuity of consciousness beyond clinical death. Esteemed universities, such as the University of Virginia, maintain specific divisions to study these phenomena. Dr. Ian Stevenson, for example, documented over 3,000 cases of children reporting verifiable memories of past lives. Common characteristics of NDEs include the sensation of leaving the body, encounters with deceased loved ones, a life review, and a profound feeling of peace. Millions of people report similar experiences, regardless of their cultural or religious background. To better understand, imagine consciousness as a radio station. The brain is the receiver, not necessarily the source of the transmission. When the receiver is damaged or turned off, it doesn't mean the broadcast stops completely. This analogy helps visualize how consciousness could persist beyond the body's physical limitations. If our consciousness is like a continuous broadcast and our brain is just the receiver, what does that imply about the power of our intentions? Do you believe the strong feeling of love can act as a tuning mechanism? Share your thoughts on this consciousness as radio analogy below. Documented accounts of reunion. These scientific foundations naturally lead us to explore specific reports of people who claim to have met loved ones during their near-death experiences, revealing consistent patterns that demand our careful attention. Researchers from respected institutions have documented thousands of NDE cases. These studies show consistent patterns. Clinically dead patients report encounters with deceased loved ones, experiences of transcendent light, and knowledge impossible to obtain in an unconscious state. Dr. Raymond Moody, the NDE pioneer, identified the reunion with departed family and friends as a recurring element. These encounters are not vague or symbolic. They are described with precise details, intense emotion, and clear, often telepathic communication. Take the case of Sarah, a young woman who, during a sudden cardiac event, met her brother who had died years prior due to an overdose. She had never forgiven him. In her NDE, her brother appeared healed and vibrant, communicating a profound message of unconditional forgiveness that instantly lifted her burden of grief upon her return. Loved ones often appear young, healthy, and radiant. Dr. Kenneth Ring, a pioneering NDE researcher, documented hundreds of cases where subjects encountered relatives whose deaths they were unaware of at the time of the experience, with details later verified by family members. Different spiritual traditions share similar views on the soul's continuity. Tibetan Buddhism describes intermediate states after death. Christianity speaks of the communion of saints. Indigenous cultures have always known that ancestors remain close, guiding the living. These accounts are powerful. Have you ever felt an undeniable presence, received a vivid dream, or experienced a profound synchronicity that felt like a message? What is the most remarkable sign you have ever received from a loved one who has passed away? Tell us your story in the comments. Your experience offers hope to others. Applying wisdom and cultivating hope. It is important to acknowledge the limitations. Not all NDEs include reunions, and some skeptics question the reliability of memories formed during altered states of consciousness. Science cannot definitively prove the survival of consciousness, but it also cannot fully refute it. This intellectual honesty is essential for a balanced understanding. Understanding these patterns allows us to identify subtle signs of communication that we may already be receiving in our daily lives, often dismissed as mere coincidence or imagination. To apply this knowledge, start by creating regular moments of connection. Establish a sacred space in your home with photos and meaningful objects. Practice contemplative meditation, mentally conversing with your loved ones. Many people report sensations of presence, vivid dreams, or significant synchronicities during these conscious opening moments. Be realistic about expectations. Grief is a natural process that should not be rushed. Spiritual connection signs may not occur immediately or in the expected form. This does not diminish the value of the love you shared or the possibility of a future reunion. The longing we feel is, paradoxically, proof of the love that transcends physical death. Every tear shed, every cherished memory, every moment of spiritual connection is an invisible thread keeping us linked to those we love. If this content brought peace to your heart, please hit the like button. Your simple interaction helps spread this extraordinary evidence to others who also miss someone special. Subscribe to the channel to follow more content on spirituality and the science of consciousness, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates on these fascinating mysteries. True love always finds a way to manifest, whether in this life or the next.